We're recording. I start the recording when you say record, so I just want everyone to be on the same picture.
I start it when I say 2.
You're a bitch.
That's smart.
Why would you do that?
Because 2 is a very powerful sexual number.
It is. You can't have sex with less than 2. I mean, not really.
Well, Sean, you most often have sex with 1.
Hey,
yourself.
Can we be real? Am I the only one of us that has a pocket rocket? A pocket pussy?
What?
I think so.
I don't know what that is in earnest. Don't get it. Please don't show it to me. I don't want to.
I'm not going to show it. I wouldn't. I would
it's
some other time.
Probably in fucking tatters is the problem.
But no. The only thing is like all the silicone is starting to show its years, you know. But otherwise, it's fine. I clean it after every use. It's not in tatters. I clean it after every use. It just needs hot water and soap. You don't need anything else. Just wash the juice
like
out.
Old, weathered, or like American flag, like dirty.
No.
Just
not at all. Not at all. It's not like that. It's not like that. Listen, if you get a worthwhile, what do they even call it? Fleshlight. But you do it from I listen, you want some advertisers? Here we go. Tenga. Tenga. Tenga makes incredible male sex toys, sex products. And if you go to the website, Tenga, Tenga, you will see this isn't some basic plastic bullshit that, you know, looks literally like a flashlight. This is a thing that looks like science made it. Okay, this is
something you can fuck in the shower. You know,
you can fuck it in space, bitch. Get out of here. You can take this thing anywhere. It is travel. It is ready for anything. And let me tell you, hey. It's been some years since I bought it. Middle of pandemic was a lonely time. You got to do what you got to do. But I'm just saying, the first time I used it, not even 30 seconds. Not even 30 seconds, bitch. Wow. I nutted into that shit after like 5 pumps. Okay?
Yeah, you're off the podcast.
And I had a rack to dry it on. A rack to dry it on.
A rack. You got your coffee mug. You got your pink Stanley Cup back there.
Okay, let me turn the goddamn camera. You don't need to see what I'm doing back there. You don't need to know me. Let me turn that up too. You don't even know how many pens I have, okay? Get out of here.
I do love it's a beautiful vase you've got there behind you.
They're all dead flowers. Don't fuck with me.
Oh, wow. No, actually, so I think I can say truthfully, I have never bought a sex toy product for myself or anyone else. I think I did buy edible panties as a joke one time.
What about sex lube?
No.
Nothing?
I don't think I have. Well, that's a lie. I did buy KY jelly one time. But
it's
a mess. It's a mess. It's too lubricating.
No. Hold on.
Is that what you put in your little cock sleeve you got?
No, there? Tenga makes its own lube to come with the toy, all right? And it's great.
I used a manufacturer approved lube.
Listen, when they make that shit, it is like physics dick dynamics based, all right?
I imagine those aerodynamic like 3D models, but it's just a cock and one other thing.
Do you want me to go get it? It's not far away. I'll show you the physics of it, all right?
I'm sure you're never more than 15 feet from it in your entire life.
I'd say it's more than 15 feet. Maybe like 30 feet right now. Maybe 40, you know? But yes, I get further. When I'm in the kitchen or in my podcasting area, I am the most far away from my cock rocket, physics-based, get you nutting in 30 seconds tool that I've ever owned in my life. And I have a hand. I had 2 hands, all right, bitch? You better look out. Lefty and righty. What do you need me to work with? I got it. I am ambidextrous where my dick is necessary.
We so quickly got to you beating off. It took us no time whatsoever.
We're talking about my cock rocket, all right? Where do you really think this was going to go?
No, what was the initial question you asked?
I think you just brought it up, apropos of nothing.
Connor is correct. That is the way that it makes the most sense.
Oh, my God. Well, Connor, please expect my email resignation at the close of this episode.
I will.
Don't you and you're not gonna send it to me? Who the fuck do you think you are?
No, your dick's gonna be chock full of freaking cock rocket. I can't. You won't have a hand.
Chock
free.
full? No, you got it wrong. My cock rocket's gonna be chock full of my dick. All right, it's a different method. You got to get it right. I have a cheap bottle of wine. All right, Bay Bridge Chardonnay. Everyone enjoy that. Enjoy this.
Wow, we are plugging a lot of sponsors who pay us nothing. Jesus. Oh my God. Well, I do have a shorty tonight that is. I really don't have a single transition for this, besides the fact that it is a little bit based in Sean's life experience.
How so?
Okay.
So, I'd like to talk about. Oh, welcome to Lesser Known People podcast. Woo!
Woo!
There we go. I'm KY. This vape is too strong. This watermelon.
Let's keep
is
it
way
dry
too
out
big.
here, bitch. Look out.
I'm KY Jelly. I'll be doing a quick little story for you guys tonight. I've got Con Baby. How you doing?
I'm great. I mean, I wish I could be $4 bottle of wine, vape pen.
You wish.
I wish that could be my night.
Dude, that's not even a wish. Connor, you could make it happen.
I could.
Probably
make
with
it
DoorDash if I know anything about the area you live in.
Probably not.
Also, John joined by a drunk, hairy person named Sean. Hello.
I'm mildly drunk, all right? This is not even the full-fledged. Because trust me, I won't remember things when I'm fully drunk. And I'll remember tonight. I promise you that.
That's great. Well, you know what? We'll remember it too.
That's good.
But-
Someone needs to. It's probably not going to be me, bitch. Look out.
So, tonight, I want to talk about how federal income tax is illegal.
Nice. I've heard this before.
Yes. And Sean, I know that there was a number of years where federal income tax did not happen in your life.
In my life, bitch, no tax happened in my life. I really hope that our podcast does not go so strong that the IRS suddenly takes attention to me. Because there's about 4 years of my life where I didn't care about them. They didn't care about me. I didn't care about them. It was kind of a round robin there.
Yeah, but you got. I thought the story was that you got square in the end.
So I didn't get square until I heard pandemic was going to end up giving us money. And that's when I decided, I should do my taxes because doing my taxes will make sure I get stimulus.
Ah, well, there you go. See, now you're on the up and up.
Well, kind of.
Kind of. Enough anyway.
Enough where they're okay with me to have sent me money. And by the way, I need more money. Government, where are you at? Let's just say I could use it. I'd love it.
I am into any sort of government handout someone can possibly give me. I would love that if I could. I'd like to suckle on Uncle Sam's teat as often as I can. Those big, thick, dark nipples he's got.
As most true liberals should be.
Yes.
I'm with you, baby. Give me those dark nipples. I am ready to.
I love that we're visual now, so that people can just see your pert lips, just gunning for those Uncle Sam dark nipples.
Just like that. That's how I work for him.
Just like that.
And as white as he is, he's got dark nipples. He does. And if you're only hearing the audio version of this, check out our YouTube. We got full-length videos on there now of the whole Hell yeah,
shit.
brother.
So, but yeah, so this goes around basically around this time of year. We start to get social media posts, little kind of nuggets of, is it legal to be taxed? Is federal income tax legal? And some assholes on social media will say, no, it's not. Never pay your taxes, blah, blah, blah. So I didn't look up all these people by any stretch, but I found one guy who probably isn't the originator of it, not by a long shot. Tax is a tough thing. But I found what would be maybe the granddaddy of it all, and his name is Irwin Schiff.
Oh.
And
Okay.
yeah, back in I think he started in the 80s, kind of going down this route. He he says federal income tax is illegal because the filing of income tax is voluntary and requires voluntary compliance, and voluntary compliance is misleading because it makes you seem like you have to do it, but you don't have to do it, according to the IRS. The IRS are the ones using the term voluntary compliance.
Is that real? Do you find that anywhere in the IRS's vocabulary?
I think the phrase voluntary compliance very much likely appears somewhere. However, voluntary compliance just basically means that we're not making you do this, but we will make you do this eventually.
Right. That kind of denotes? No. That cancels out the word voluntary. Bitch, do it or there will be consequences. That doesn't sound voluntary anymore.
Yeah, we're giving the opportunity to comply until we make you comply.
And is that his whole argument on the legality of it? Is that you can't be forced to voluntarily comply?
Yeah, so that's exactly. That's a big piece. And then he also said that no tax assessment can be made unless a tax return has been voluntarily filed. So if you're saying you're going to assess my income for taxes, and I don't voluntarily submit that information to you in a tax return, then you can't, levy taxes against me.
But isn't that exactly what an audit means from the IRS?
Yeah, they're just
okay.
Yeah, I'm not going to get into the who's and what's and whys the IRS makes us do our own tax returns, which I do think is fucking stupid. Like, there is a version of this of somebody holding the rule book is telling you, hey, play this game, and we'll give you an idea of the rules. We know what the rules are, and we know what you should be paying, but you have to not fuck it up and tell me what you're going to pay me, but I have all the rules. It's an annoying fucking game to play.
As a person who's played that game, I will be the first to say, if you don't play the game, no one's coming after you. But that's just 4 years of experience for me. That's only 4 years, and I knew that I was making not a lot of money. So the government, if you wanted my dick for those 4 years, you weren't getting much anyway. Let's just put it that way.
Well, I think they probably just had bigger fish to fry than our dear dirty Serb. You know what I mean? They're not going to come after the $400 you owed them.
Okay, they owed me $400 because I made so little money. But I think the main point,
in your face, motherfucker.
Yeah, that's right. You should have given me money. I did you a favor by not filing my taxes. But all to say, let me get real with it. Just for the iota of a second, I thought, not having known anything about the argument you're making here or what you read about, I thought this goes back to the Revolutionary War, like no taxation without representation. We made our own country. We fought the British. We got our own country. You're going to be taxed. That's America.
Well, it's every single country that operates and has a federal or state government is taxed. I mean, your taxes pay for the very basic things that you can touch, the roads, the lights, the street lights, all that shit.
That's why I'd love to know where this argument began, where you don't have to pay taxes voluntarily. I would love to know how this person began this argument.
So one of Irwin's big things was that it's federal income tax. He is okay with, he's perfectly comfortable paying state income tax because that's who's maintaining his roads and that's who's doing this and that's who's doing that. He doesn't want to pay federal income tax because it's not listed in the Constitution, which is false. The 16th Amendment does list it. It gives Congress the right to assess taxes against the populace.
Sure. Yeah.
So he's wrong, but he doesn't want to pay federal taxes.
All right. Well, I would love to not have to jerk myself off most days, but when you got to do what you got to do, you got to do what you got to do.
I mean, technology is getting you ever closer. Look how close you already are.
When I started, there was no technology, Kyle. I was in the shower using my mind's eye to beat off to titties that I would imagine, okay? There's no technology being used there. I was 13 years old.
You've got your cock rocket now.
Yeah, when I'm like fucking in my 30s.
Takes you to the moon.
What about when I was in my teens? We didn't have the internet.
Yeah, but you also had crazy horniness then. It didn't matter. You didn't need a pocket rocket. Your hand was sufficient.
I'm not more than y'all. Y'all are just less than me. That's what I'm going to say about my horniness, okay?
Well, because you are God's horniest soldier. There's no question about that.
For sure.
I mean, hey, you're the one that told me that you beat off standing up, and that put kind of a divider there of just like, how are you comfortable? How is that making sense? You're using muscles that you shouldn't be using when you nut.
But I need those. I need those. I'm practicing fucking while I'm beating off.
You're practicing being a meerkat, okay? What? I gotta stand up. That's what you're practicing. So
wait. You just hold your hand steady, like stationary, and then you just move your hips? Is that what I'm hearing?
Fuck yeah! Yeah, the whole fucking.
You like that?
That's what I'm hearing.
Yeah.
That's what I'm hearing.
I practice my dirty talk on myself. You dirty son of a bitch. Yeah. I mean, all that's fucking true. Cause I'm a champ. You know, you never get. What did Kobe do? He shot 10,000 shots before practice started. That's what I'm doing. This is before the game. Treat it like the game.
Okay. I mean, I love the guy. No offense, but just step into one wrong helicopter. All right. That's all I'm saying.
I knew you were gonna say that. Anyway, you son of a bitch. So, actually, the very last thing that that Irwin said about his taxes is that the tax courts have no jurisdiction over him, in particular.
Just him.
Just him.
He's a man of his own accord because I just wonder when there's like a literal wording out there that says everyone, this will be applied to everyone. I wonder how he's not everyone.
Well, he's special, and so are you if you chose to buy.
Bitch, I was about to say it. How would this apply to me? I'm fucking special. All right. I live in California. I got 2 dogs and a fiance. Your shit doesn't apply to me. All right. It's just not there. I don't feel it.
It doesn't count. And that was his whole thing, is it didn't fucking count. It doesn't apply to me. So he released in like 1992. He released a book titled. This is the stupidest, longest title. It's called "The Federal Mafia: How the Government Illegally Imposes and Unlawfully Collects Income Taxes." Mouthful for no fucking reason.
That might be the longest book title I've ever heard.
Yeah, but the Federal Mafia is pretty good. That's a nice, he got something there, and then he just shit down his back. I don't know.
Up his back. He was doing a handstand when he took a shit in his pants.
Really wanting it.
Oh,
but
God.
his advice was so incorrect in the book that 10 years after it was released, the California Court of Appeals finally ruled that they had to take it off the shelves.
Just California, though. No other state.
Well, yeah, it wasn't allowed to be published, and that was like the publishing houses in California or whatever. But
a savvy businessman would just switch to what, Texas? He'd be fine there.
Right. Oh, and he released like 5 or 6 books. They finally came around to that, and like, you have to stop telling people wrong information. It's damaging their lives.
I just want to ask, is it wrong?
It's wrong. It's wrong.
Okay. I got 4 years that might say different, but I want to hear your argument. I want to hear his argument.
Yes. So, I mean, the reasons I gave up top are basically just what he lists over and over in all these different books. I think he is just finding different publishers and going to books, and he did he has there might be like a few YouTube videos he's on, and he was kind of trying to be an influencer before kind of the age of social media with all this shit. But one of the reasons they took his book down is because the IRS estimates that over 5,000 people got caught up in his little system of what he would tell them, like, oh, get your tax return, fill it out this way, and you won't have to pay any taxes, right? That was his thing. It's like, you're going to file a thing, but they won't be able to take any taxes from you. And those 5,000 tax returns represented $56 million to the IRS.
Holy shit.
Damn.
So they were like, stop it. Stop.
Well, I mean, in today's monetary values, where the country's trillions of dollars in debt, I don't even think 56 million would really put a dent in that. So,
I mean, it's still $56 million.
Yeah, it is. It's still a lot. It's still a lot. The government.
It's not $400 that Sean owed you know.
It might have been no. They owed me. Let's get it right. They owed me. Those 4 years I was a poor motherfucker and they should have paid me, and I chose to let them keep it.
See? Look at that. You're a good citizen. You're a fucking patriot, dude.
You know, I'm helping the government. I am truly an American.
That's right.
In the strongest sense of the word.
So
Well,
now, do these books also contain advice on what to do when the IRS finally comes calling?
I don't believe so.
You do owe us taxes.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
Right. He didn't release a book when you go to tax court, when you get charged with tax evasion. That one never hit the shelves, which is shocking because he went to court like 7 fucking times. Sean is laughing from fucking 2 rooms away. He's probably getting a quick beat-off session in.
He's gonna come back with his little pocket rocket.
If he starts jerking off,
Big.
I'm off the podcast. I'm gone.
I just want to show you guys.
Please don't. So anyway, he went to court, like 50 fucking times for tax evasion on himself, obviously, for himself, excuse me. And eventually, all his, court cases and fines and all that ended up being a total of 13 years in prison for him.
Holy shit.
Yeah. And, mainly for tax evasion, right? It was like almost 12 years for that. And then he had a year for contempt of court.
That makes sense.
Yeah, because he was probably a total bitch the whole time.
Just because you're a judge doesn't mean you can tell me to be quiet and I have to be quiet.
It's like, oh, dude, yes, he does. That's exactly what's going to happen. Yeah,
I would love to do the same thing. Listen, I would love to go in front of court and argue the motion, right? Like, I was 16 when I got my first speeding ticket. My brother was like, "Go fight it. Odds are you'll win. Even if everything is against you, you'll probably win." So I understand that higher courts might care, but I'll tell you, I got a few tickets driving, and every time I fought it, I won to some extent. So if they came at me for those 4 years that I wasn't paying taxes, let's just say I'm ready in my heart, even if I'm not ready in my pocketbook, okay?
Yeah. I would just love that to be like, all right, just approach it like you're fighting a ticket. You walk in and we're charging you double and we're putting fines on top. Fuck! And then you leave, and that's it.
It's like, yeah, but you got my address wrong with 1 letter. I don't know if that should count, okay? I told you what it was. Y'all got it wrong. So, by the way, I won 1 speeding ticket because they spelled the address wrong. Just saying.
That happens, yeah. And if the cop never shows, then you win the ticket.
Every time.
So it's always worth it.
Right.
In this case, all the cops showed up to his fucking court hearings. I'll tell you that much. Yeah, so he got 13 years in prison for tax evasion and contempt of court, and he was ordered to repay $4.2 million.
Oh my god.
Because my guess is he was not claiming or he's not filing taxes on the money he was earning from these books that people were buying.
I would like to know, did he pay?
He died in prison.
Yay! I mean, wait. He went to prison? Hold on a second. Because of the taxes, he went to prison?
Yes.
I thought there wasn't a debtor's jail.
No. Well, you go to prison. Straight to jail.
What?
Look at your fucking face. Yeah, dude. You will go to prison if you owe enough money. You will go to fucking prison.
I thought America was built on many ideas, but one of them being there is no debtor's prison.
Well, it's not a debtor's prison. I think that if you so I think it could be a situation that if you say, I'll serve, 5 months in jail so that you'll drop the amount of money I owe you by $100,000. If you owe that much money, they'd be like, all right, fine. Instead of 4.2, you can owe 4. That way you do 2 months in jail, a few months in jail, drop it down a little bit, no harm, no foul.
Don't they pay as a government to keep you in jail?
Yeah.
How does that work? I wonder. We'll make you pay less in taxes if you go spend a year in jail where we pay for your life.
I've never been to tax court. I do. I also actually have some some celebrity tax evasion honorable mentions.
Oh yeah.
Ooh.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, these are juicy. So, of course, I was very curious about Wesley Snipes. We all know the world's greatest vampire and vampire hunter, killer
but
person.
also half vampire.
Yes. He owed a total of $9.5 million.
What?
Jesus.
Yeah, that's no small potatoes. The Mike the Situation Sorrentino from Jersey Shore.
Oh, that fucker.
Yep, he was sentenced to 8 months in prison for tax evasion. Because he said he could not pay the $2 million or whatever he owed in taxes. So they were like, all right, well, if you can't pay it, you're going to prison. All right, prison you can go.
Man,
Dude.
that's rough.
Yeah.
Dude.
Well, he made his money fast and he spent it really fast, and then he couldn't do it. Richard Hatch was the winner of a season of Survivor, one of the first seasons of it or whatever. So he got $1 million when he won. Yeah, and then he never paid taxes on it, and so he was sentenced to 51 months in prison.
Wow.
So he must not have been
2
able
years?
to make any restitution at all.
Damn.
I don't know. Would you take $1 million if you had to go to prison for 2 years?
Yes,
I
Yeah.
think so.
I would. Because look, you don't pay taxes. They send you to prison. The moment you're about to go in, you put $2 million worth of, whatever investments. You'll probably make double or more by the time you're out of prison.
Yeah, but
Yeah, I mean, or you could just pay your taxes.
You could.
If you get $1
Have
million,
your
good.
you pay $400,000 of that in taxes, and you get $600,000.
that you didn't have before that you won on a fucking game show.
And you don't have to go to prison.
I'm with you
All right,
guys.
that's
That
a
is
winner to me.
the smarter decision. But he likes food that tastes like ass, so he chose that.
And the potential for non-consensual sex with a man. There's always that.
Yeah, you can't put a price on that.
You can. It is $400,000. I will pay you that to not go to rape me in the butt prison. That is where I will go. Who else? So, all right, they did our boy Sinbad. They did him dirty. He filed for bankruptcy in 2013. He claims he owed $8.3 million to the IRS because he didn't pay any taxes from 98 to 06.
Ooh.
Oh, dude.
Is he making that much money then?
There's no way.
he
I mean,
was.
it must have been like royalties or something because he wasn't working that much then.
He was, honestly, I do remember, I did not watch them, but he did a lot of stand-ups, like HBO and whatever the fuck. He did a lot of those in the late 90s and 2000s. So I would imagine that's like what they say, right? Like when you're, I know a slightly different industry, but if you're like in a musical band, you're not making your money from CDs. You're making your money from concerts. So I would assume
on the road.
similar for stand-ups. Like if you do especially a televised stand-up, you're making a lot of money. And even when you're that big and you're not doing a televised stand-up, you're probably making thousands, if not tens or hundreds of thousands of dollars for a big stand-up event.
Yeah, I mean, if he at the time, if he was pretty big and he went to do a tour and he's making, I don't know, 10 or 20 grand a weekend. I mean, that's a lot over the course of a year. If he's working a lot and making a shit ton of money, I mean, and again, over the course of, God, how long was it?
8 years.
8 years. Yeah, I mean, and again, could be a little back taxes in there. The worst one of all, which we should not feel bad for this guy at all, was Joe Francis.
Joe Francis.
Does that ring any bells?
No.
It will. He is the founder of Girls Gone Wild. Yes. So he pled guilty to 2 misdemeanor counts of filing false tax returns in 2009. Asshole. And this is the best part, where he withheld $500,000 in interest income and bribed jail workers. Reported the L.A. Times. He was ordered to pay $250,000 in restitution to the IRS and was sentenced to 300 days in jail and 1 year of probation.
Could have been worse. I'll say that as my first reaction.
Yeah, I think, and when I read it, I was like, that kind of fits. That kind of fits. He seems like a giant bitch asshole, like would bribe jail workers to not go or to like let him out. Or I didn't read the further story. I'm sure he'd be somebody very interesting to cover in the future.
But you're right. Like if he bribed that much money while in jail, he could have paid not much more than that to just not go to jail.
Just don't go to jail. Pay money to not be in jail.
Right. I would do that. I don't want some non-voluntary butt sex. That's not where I live. That's not how I am. That's not who I am.
That's not how I want to spend my Tuesday afternoon.
That's no. There's no way.
there's no. I'd rather work and just
not Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, or Sunday. Would I like to spend that kind of afternoon?
Well, it could be open on a Sunday. Maybe a Sunday would be
okay, well, if you put yourself open, then, I'm just saying, why don't you have a pocket rocket like I do to understand how you don't need that?
My worry is that you bought this like from Temu and it's shaped like an elephant pussy or something weird, and now it's going to give you cock cancer or something.
I didn't join Temu until 2024, and I bought my weird dick pocket in 2020, all right? Those are 4 years apart. They don't add together business-wise.
What? Plug. Well, this is the outward plug. What's the name of your pocket rocket company?
Do it one more time. Tengu. Tengu. Tengu.
See, I feel like that was Temu's like original name, and they just did a flip it in reverse and just rebranded themselves as Temu.
They sell like little pullable wagons and eyebrow shavers. Temu and Tengu are two very different companies. By the way, they both support us as a podcast. Either or might be advertising us. I'm just saying.
Yes,
we're ready for what the future brings.
And if you would like a signed Sean's pocket rocket, let us know at lesserknownpeople.com.
I don't.
Oh, did we lose him?
We lost him.
He's gone. He died. He got so excited about his pocket rocket, his mic exploded?
Yeah, I think he's just been screaming in his mic so much the mic just gave up.
We can't hear him at all. Jesus. All right, let's end it here. We love you guys. Thanks for listening again. Pay your taxes.
Yep, don't die in jail.
Yeah, don't.
Do all those things.
We pay for our freedom. Let's just pay your taxes.
Yeah, just pay your taxes.
All right. We love you.
Love you guys.